This is going in the bloopers.
Or is it recording?
Yeah.
Can't confirm that I've used that for that yet. But anyways, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. The 2-year hiatus is finally over. It's good to be back. A lot of things have changed since my last video on this YouTube channel. But before I say anything, anyone that's coming over from my Instagram that you've seen on my stories that I've been plugging, I really do appreciate the support. If you could just like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the journey for the next 10 weeks, because this is episode 1 of a 10-part series that I'm going to be doing. So leading up to my first pro show for the WBFF. So won my pro card 2 years ago over in New Zealand for the muscle model category. One of the highest achievements in my life still yet to this date, especially doing that at 23 years old. So that was pretty cool to achieve that at a relatively younger age. But now COVID has fucked up a lot of plans for everybody, but hopefully, fingers crossed, that this show goes ahead in October up in Gold Coast. So let's fucking get a move on with the fucking day. This is just basically, I'm experimenting with different pre-workout meals just before training, because definitely pre-workout meals are the most important thing to have. Wow, that fucking sounds so gummy. You got to fuel your workouts, especially like when you're in a deficit and you still have the calories. It's really good to be able to still fuel yourself with the right foods to keep you pushing throughout your sessions, because obviously you don't want to be a little fucking bitch. You're always wanting to be pushing, if not getting stronger, still maintaining your strength during prep. None of this fucking high rep, low weight bullshit to get shredded. We're gonna lift heavy still, but with good form and decent amount of reps. So yeah, I got some rice cakes, almond butter jam, and then protein powder from my sponsor Cytec. I'm still sponsored by them as well, so they flew me over to New Zealand as well, where I got my pro card. So that's pretty cool. They're an awesome brand to still be working with. 50 grams of WPI, and then I'm trying some coconut water just for electrolytes. So a little backstory. So we're sitting at 10 weeks out now for episode 1. So as this is being recorded.
What are you doing, bro?
I'm putting on my shoes. Funny, I just remembered when I was putting on these shoes. So for the past 6 weeks, well, it was last week's and then the previous 6 weeks ago. So basically from the end of June up until the start of August, I was locked out of Adelaide. So I left initially only for a 2-week work trip. As soon as I flew out, South Australia announced that they closed their borders. So I've been away for 6 weeks, from 16 weeks out to about 10 weeks out, which wasn't ideal, not gonna lie. It was pretty shit, because I didn't have my normal routine, didn't have my normal gym. And as I was putting on these shoes, I literally wore these shoes for 6 weeks straight. You can see that they're like a little bit dusty, because I did like heaps of mountain climbing when I was staying in Darwin and Alice Springs and stuff like that. So yeah, not ideal, but I've definitely hit the ground running as soon as I got back to Adelaide. And I'm quite happy with the progress that I've made in such a short period of time. So yeah, and now I'm keen to link up with this fucking bad boy, this sexy boy behind the camera, Alan, or AKA Vinsbra, that's gonna be helping me record and document everything going on. So
We're on,
say
baby.
hi? Do you wanna say hi, Alan?
Nah, I'm camera shy.
Okay. I'm a little camera shy. I actually haven't recorded in a long time. I mean,
Nah, you're a natural.
my OnlyFans. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans. No.
Link in bio, guys. Link the link here.
At the moment, calorie wise, I've just dropped my calories down to 2,500, which I'm doing 275 protein, 225 carbs, and then 55 grams of fat, anywhere between like 50 to 60 grams of fat. And then I feel as if that's like not high, it's definitely not high, but it's not low just yet, but it is lower than what I would usually sit at 10 weeks out, just because I want to make sure that I'm definitely more conditioned than my last show, and I'm just really being strict now so that I don't have to rush towards the end of the prep and have to do like drastic things to try and get the conditioning. So 2,500 calories. I keep calories the same on training and rest days. I just keep it consistent. Refeed days if necessary, but I really don't need them just yet. Only if my weight drops a lot. So, and I'm sitting at about like 95, 96 kilos. Cardio wise, I'm only doing about 30 minutes 5 times a week, so 150 minutes. And I usually just do either the bike or incline treadmill. And I like to also count my steps. So I usually just go for like a walk during the day, and I hit about anywhere between 12 to 15,000 steps a day. So, and I prep myself, and honestly, prep isn't something, or trying to lose fat isn't hard. If you're not losing your body fat, decrease your calories or increase your expenditure. It's really not rocket science or anything like that. So you literally just follow the rules of thermodynamics. That's right, I know big words. I get those goosebumps every time. Whenever someone is doing something different or out of the norm, so for example, we're recording in the gym today. This is by no means nothing to boost my ego or to show, hey people, look what I'm doing, or kind of, but I'm not doing it to fuel my ego. I'm doing this really to show people, to give them a little bit more of an insight into my life, and to show people something that I'm passionate about and sort of just my lifestyle. But people always look from the outside and judge and talk behind your back and say negative comments. But really, ultimately, they want to be doing what we're doing or what I'm doing. Not necessarily this, but like something outside of the norm, something that they're always passionate about.
We're just documenting your journey to
Yeah.
WBFF.
Yeah, literally. And I know that like a lot of my friends and people that I know have always asked, oh Rhys, you should really show it and document it. And even for myself, like whenever I started my bodybuilding career when I was like 19, 20 years old, I would watch like, guys like Cody Montgomery, Chris Bumstead, Dallas McCarver, rest in peace, all these guys, all these professional bodybuilders, and I would absolutely love it because it's like people love watching the journey, not the destination as such or as much. So, and everyone out there, whether it be bodybuilding, whether it be if you're at uni studying, or if you're just doing, a passion that you love, do it and don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about it. Alright, so yeah, I've been really liking behind the neck shoulder press. Like, I used to always think that it's like, oh fuck, don't do any behind the neck movements because it really compromises your shoulder health and your rotator cuffs. But honestly, like, I feel it so much because I'm not an ego lifter by any means. So I can increase my weight progressively if I know that I can hit a weight for about 10 to 12 reps. So controlling the weight, not going all the way down, but basically just going a little bit past 90 degrees, or when your elbow and your upper arm hits perpendicular, just go a little bit there, get that stretch, up, squeeze, not fully locking out, and just keeping that constant tension in it. I'll do about 2 to 3 working up sets, 2 heavy working sets, and then I'll do one either a back down set or a drop set. So drop set, basically you do one weight, get a good amount of reps, anywhere between 6 to 10, I'd say is a good sort of heavy set, then drop the weight about, again, by 50-60%, and then smash out as many reps as you can. Cluster set is basically, you'll pick one weight, and you can either do it, you can really play around with it. You could do, one weight, pretty heavy weight for about, 5-6 reps, rest for about 10-15 seconds, go again, rest for about 15-20 seconds, go again. You can really play around with it. Or what I'm about to do is a triple drop set. So going for a pretty heavier weight, and I'll basically do that as many as I can, drop the weight. So as you can see, I'm doing 80 kilos on the bar, so I put on 3 10s on each side so I can sort of make it a lot easier for myself. So I go from 80 kilos, as many as I can, probably going for about 6 to 8, drop the weight to 60 kilos, go for 8 to 10, and then I'll finish it off with 40 kilos, as many as I can. And basically by the end of that, you should be feeling your arms about to get torn off. I wanna press my line, yeah. I wanna press my, I wanna be like, I wanna be like, I wanna press And remember, always use protection. So basically for all my workouts, whether it be the pull workout, shoulders and arms, I'll always stick to the same 2 compound exercises for at least 4 weeks, because I know now, training for a while, I know which movement patterns work best for me, different for everyone, and I'll stick to them and progressively overload, which basically means increasing my weights and also increasing my reps, which is basically the basic definition of progressive overload. So increasing your weight or reps over a progressive amount of time. So definitely that's a really good thing to also focus on when you're prepping or in a calorie deficit, because it's going to help you retain as much muscle as possible as well while lowering your calories.
I'm shy.
Obviously there's a lot to lose here, here. That's where I generally lose, hold the last bits of fat. But my arms will always come in pretty lean, and my chest straight away. And my legs are always lean. But it's gonna be interesting to see over the next 10 weeks, the progression, the changes, not just physically, but also, mindset, and even for me, like emotionally and spiritually as well, the way that you look at times of hardships. And I'm putting myself in an uncomfortable 10 weeks of slowly killing myself. That's what prep is. You're depriving your body of nutrients and of substance to get a desired look, which is obviously being shredded. But it's very interesting to see like how my mindset changes. And yeah, it sucks to wake up and do cardio, but for me now, I look at it as I'm grateful to be able to work towards this goal, and I appreciate that I'm able to live the life that I do live and to have this routine and structure, because ultimately being a bodybuilder and competing is a lifestyle and it's a choice, and I wouldn't see myself doing it like any other way. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Get ready for an epic episode that Rhys is going to edit and put together. So we're going to wrap up episode 1 here. It was just a quick introduction, quick training session as well, and then just a physique check at 10 weeks out. And I'll see you in episode 2.